and today I'm going to show you how to make my new favorite vegan meal prep recipe. This is an air fryer recipe, so before we get to it, I want to introduce you to my new favorite air fryer. It's the ZenChef Pro Double XL by ZenChef, who is sponsoring this recipe. And y'all, this is my favorite air fryer that I've ever owned, and I have owned many different air fryers before landing on one that I truly like. It's nice and big, it's easy to clean, and my favorite feature of all is that it has a start and stop button. You might think that that's just a small thing, but for almost everything you're making in the air fryer, your cooking times are going to vary a little bit. Even with something like this that's very simple, you know, maybe your vegetable cutting is a little bit bigger or smaller than mine, you're going to need to vary that cooking time to accommodate, because bigger pieces take longer to cook, smaller pieces cook more quickly, right? So that stop button is great because there's nothing that alarms me more than just unplugging an air fryer while it's running and that spark comes out of the wall. No thank you. Stop buttons all the way. So let's get to this recipe and talk first about the vegetables, sweet potatoes and Brussels sprouts. And there's a little bit of a staggered cooking time happening because sweet potatoes take a bit longer to cook than Brussels sprouts. So you'll start with your diced sweet potatoes, spray a little oil, sprinkle a little garlic powder, and toss them in the air fryer for about 15 minutes. Once the sweet potatoes are done cooking, that's when you'll add your sliced Brussels sprouts. Spray a little more oil, sprinkle a little more garlic powder, and toss them in again. Midway through the Brussels sprout cooking time, you're going to pull them out and add just a sprinkle of soy sauce. It adds a little bit of nice saltiness, and it also adds moisture so your veggies don't dry out, because they are in the air fryer for quite a bit of time and not with a ton of oil to add moisture, so the soy sauce does that job. So that's the veggie portion of this meal prep. Let's talk about the grains a bit. As you can see, mine all have quinoa. These close ones have quinoa too. And that's because I had quinoa in my refrigerator. But you can use any grains that you like. If you have some leftover rice from takeout, you can put the rice in there. If you have leftover noodles, add the noodles or pasta to the meal prep. You could do different ones for different days. Whatever leftovers you have in the fridge, go for it. From there, you're just going to top your bowls with 2 different sauces. And don't worry, these 2 sauces together only take about 10-15 minutes to make. That includes rinsing out the blender in between, because you make them both in your blender. This is my magical tahini dressing. It is garlicky, gingery, lemony tahini sauce. And then this is my 5-minute peanut butter sauce recipe. It's kind of like a Thai style peanut sauce. That way, even though you're making 4 dishes that are pretty much identical, you're mixing up your flavors with different sauces. And if you mix up the grains, you could get a little bit more variety that way too. So this is super easy to make. It makes 4 portions, and the reason I'm doing 4 instead of 5, I know there's 5 days in a work week, but I'm very cautious about food safety after getting food poisoning 3 times in the same year. So I just don't feel comfortable keeping something in the fridge for 5 days and then eating it. 4 is like my upper limit. If you're feeling more cavalier about food safety, that's totally up to you. You can divide this into 5 containers, maybe bulk it out with something like some cashews or a little side salad to stretch it into 5 meals. You do you. So I think we've really covered everything you need to know about this recipe. Let's cook!